don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Oh, I'm live? I didn't know that. Oh yeah, that song was stuck in my head. One of my faves. One of my faves. Oh boy, boy, boy. I always like to chill for a second. I make a live stream, give people a chance to hop on once they see the notification. By the way, if you don't have notifications turned on for this channel, if you're not subscribed to this channel, right, you should do so immediately with most haste. All right. But anyway, as always, y'all, anybody that's not new to the channel knows that when I get on here, I kind of diddly daddle a little bit as I get ready to roll. I'm also sharing out links and things literally right now. But anyway, hey, what's going on? Charles Austin here, and let's be fit forever. And if you've never seen me do a video, that's how I start every single video. All right. I'm a little bit earlier today because I'm kind of tired. I don't know how. I'm kind of tired. I'm trying to keep my eyes open. It's been a long day. Great day. You know, sometimes you have a day where it's long, but it's very productive. And sometimes your productivity can wean on you a little bit. That's kind of how my day was today. But it's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with some good old-fashioned productivity. So I'm sharing out my live stream here on Facebook. And I'm also going to share it real quick here on Instagram if I can figure out a way to do it. All right. But anywho, today I'm going to look into the camera while I work on this here a little bit. But today, again, before we begin, as always, like I said, let's be fit forever. Please make sure that if you are not already subscribed to the channel, if you are not, make sure you do so. Like the video, share the video out to all your friends so that they can learn something. Remember, over here on my channel here with Fitness Charles, I am your number one. I'm literally reading from my YouTube page right now. I am the number one source. I am your number one source. I am the best, greatest, supreme, optimal, whatever word I can think of that's synonymous with what I'm trying to say. The number one source for health, fitness, and nutrition education. True story. A little bit background about me. I started out in this whole realm of health and wellness. I started out as a personal trainer. That was literally like my first job ever. And what is going on? So I literally started out as a personal trainer, and that was my first job ever. And let me flip this. And that was like my first job ever. And I'm trying to take a picture of something, y'all. There we go. Let's do that. Just gonna see how this looks. Oh, that looks crazy. Let's do that again. Like, I'm gonna discard that one. Let's try this again. Ooh, I got a better idea. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna get into that. Or I'll just keep telling y'all about my background while I kind of play with this phone here a little bit. But my first foray into health and fitness was as a personal trainer. And I started out, this was 20 some odd years ago. And I started out at a local gym that was near the university that I was working at. The university that I was studying at. And I started out there so many years ago, and eventually I got to the point to where I am here now. Over the years I managed fitness clubs, and I I have been working in private health coaching, for a long time, and so on and so forth. But eventually, I got to the point to where um, I am truly focused on teaching how to prevent heart disease. And I'm going to go ahead and hit this. How to prevent heart disease and chronic disease and everything. So that is my baby, if you will. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. But just to get the disclaimer out of the way real quick, remember, anything that you hear on this channel or from me, anything that comes out of my mouth, right, is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It is not to be construed with medical advice or advice from a physician or anything like that. That's not what I'm doing. As always, if you're making any changes to your own health or medical regimens or anything, you got to do your own research, make your own choices. I'm just here to teach, right? Okay. So again, we're going to start. We're going to give you an overview of what. We're going to give you an overview of what heart disease is, right? If you looked at the title of the stream, and if you can't see, let me share. I'm going to share this with you real quick, right? This is it right here. Okay, this is the title. Where we're talking about the fact that heart disease kills humans a bunch. And as it says here, heart disease is number one at killing humans on Earth. And if you're not new to the channel, you know that I've talked about this topic before. It's not my first time talking about this topic. It's a topic that I love to discuss. And, when I sat down today, I said, what do I want to talk about today? Well, heart disease. And it's not something that I love to discuss because necessarily it's something that's awesome or incredible. No, it's killing a lot of people. But the reason why I love to talk about it so much is because it's so easy to prevent, right? Last week on the stream, let's see, what did we do last week? Last week on the stream, we talked about anger might be killing you. And one of the things that anger does is it overstresses your heart. So we did mention heart disease. You probably may have noticed that many of the streams that I do on this channel, they tend to come back to some type of chronic disease or more specifically heart disease. And we talked about the fact that we were comparing, if you watched the stream, and if you haven't watched it, check it out. Thriving Thursday, anger might be killing you, so you got to chill out. But if you watch the stream, you notice we compared the brain and the heart, and we're trying to decide which one was the most important organ. I wonder if I may. No, I won't do that. But basically, we had a little conversation, if you will, about whether or not the brain or the heart, which one was the most important organ. And to me, it's always the heart because it is the driving force for everything. Without that heartbeat, the brain cannot receive blood, it cannot receive nutrients, cannot receive oxygen or anything that it needs to function. So the heart is the thing. So if the heart, in my estimation, as a human body scientist, as a nutritionist, as a health coach, as a fitness coach, as a personal trainer, as an epidemiologist, as a health book author, right? As a what else am I? I'm a chronic disease curer, right? Or you could just simply keep it straight. I'm an expert when it comes to the health of the human body and the function of the human body. So if the heart is the number one most important organ in the body, right? Do you think that it is a coincidence that heart disease is the number one killer of humans on planet Earth? Okay, I don't think it is. You know what? I wonder if I can get that instrumental real quick. I wonder if I can find that instrumental real quick, because I don't want to play anybody's voice or anything. And again, if I play this, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I don't own the rights to the music or anything like that. Not trying to steal anybody's rights. Um, oh wait, that's the name of the song. Let's see what happens, y'all, because I honestly don't know. Let's see what comes up. Oh, this is just somebody playing, and I don't want that. It ain't exactly what I wanted, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, really, man. Like I said, had a great day, and sometimes you just have to know. Don't worry, don't worry. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. So let's go. Ooh, I'm all over the place today. It's because I'm talking about my favorite topic. Now, if you don't know, like I said, on the title of the stream is the fact that, because we're about to get into teach mode now, all right? If you don't know that, where'd it go? Heart disease is number one at killing humans on Earth. What does that mean? Well, as it says here, according to the World Health Organization, ischemic heart disease is the leading cause of death globally, accounting for an estimated 9 million deaths. This is as recent data from 2021. And this is followed by stroke and other stuff like that, right? But specifically the heart disease, if we go here to, again, we go here to the World Health Organization, right? We go to the World Health Organization, and we see the top 10 causes of death here, and heart disease, number one. No, that's not number two. They try to scare y'all with COVID. That ain't number two. But anyway, heart disease, number one. Number two is cancer, I believe. But anywho, heart disease. Now, if we go here to the CDC, yeah, right? Cancer, number two. But heart disease number one, okay? So it doesn't matter where you are on the planet. More than likely, heart disease is going to kill somebody you know, somebody you love, somebody that lives next to you, somebody that works with you, etc. Because so many people die from it, and nothing kills humans more than heart disease. And again, if you look at the way the search is put into the search engine, what is the number one killer of humans? I didn't say what is the number one disease. I just said what is the number one killer. And that answer is always heart disease, right? So what in the world is heart disease, right? What is it? Okay. What is heart disease? Now, heart disease describes a range of conditions that affect the heart. And heart disease can include blood vessel diseases such as coronary artery disease, which this one here is like, this is the one that kills the most. When it comes to people passing away from heart disease, more than likely it has something to do with the fact that they had a blockage or a problem with their blood vessels, something like that, right? But other ways you can suffer from heart disease includes arrhythmias, congenital heart defects, disease of the heart muscle, heart valve, different things like that. Now, the interesting thing about arrhythmias and heart muscle diseases and things like that, in many instances, that's something that happens outside of your control. What? That's something that happens outside of your control, and it's not necessarily your fault. But the thing about coronary artery disease is that is that it is literally caused by you. Okay? Sorry, y'all. I promise I'm gonna get on a roll here in a second. Real quick. One more to send. Yeah, y'all. Um, so yeah, it's normally caused by you. Now, there are many forms that can be prevented and treated with healthy lifestyle choices. This is the thing that I try to teach the most. And one of the most common answers I get to, when I say, well, how come you don't improve your diet? Or why can't you get rid of eating this? And people normally say it tastes good. But then it tastes good is going to result in the number one cause of death on the planet. Okay? We got to get us out of that. But I want to show you this image to kind of show you that there are different types of heart disease, right? So when we're talking about a valve disease, right, what this is showing an image of, a valve that is normal. And valves are basically parts of your heart that open and close to facilitate the flow of blood in and out. So it can go to the lungs, come back from the lungs, and go throughout the body, come back from the body, et cetera, et cetera. So if you have a problem with that, that can cause problems with your heart, resulting in heart disease. Over here, we also have an aneurysm. All right, and I believe, man, why I'm having a brain fart. If memory serves me correct, and you know me, I'm gonna find out. An aneurysm, I believe, is when there's a clot, a ruptured blood clot. Let's just, you know me. Let's find out. Let's find out real quick what an aneurysm is. That's what I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. Pretty sure that's what it is. Okay, it doesn't necessarily pop. Okay. So it is a blood clot. All right. And as it says, a bulge or ballooning in the wall of an artery. Okay. So that's why it has a big bulge, right? So when you go back to the image, it's just like a bulge, right? So this can affect blood flow, which can damage the heart. I'm going to come back to this one here. Arrhythmias is basically when you have a problem with your heart rhythm. So your heart is supposed to open and close at a certain rhythm. All right. When I teach this to others, I normally like to use my hand as the version of the heart as it pumps and relaxes. So as you can see here with my beat, I have a certain rhythm that goes with it. But arrhythmias, they kind of do weird things. There's no specific rhythm that goes with an arrhythmia, which can affect blood flow, which can help damage the heart as well. Heart failure, what they're talking about here is when you have a situation where your ventricles, which is a part of the heart that pumps blood to the lungs or pumps blood to the rest of the body, dilated means that it's opened. And if it's open too much, it could be leaking out too much blood. We could have a problem there. Cardiomyopathy, as it says here, is a thickening of your heart muscle. All right. And I specifically looked that one up. Cardiomyopathy can make it harder to pump blood, potentially leading to heart failure or other serious conditions. All right. So you want to make sure that is not going on. Pericarditis, anytime you see the word itis, it's referring to inflammation. And in this case, we're talking about inflammation of the pericardium, which is just a part of the heart. Again, any of these things you don't want, right? But let's go back to this picture here, coronary artery disease. What they're doing is they're showing you a picture of an artery that has been blocked by fatty deposits, okay? And you normally want to have this whole circular area open. Okay, and I've taught on this before, done videos on this before. You really want this part of your heart open all the way. And if it is not, and you got to remember, if somebody is suffering from high cholesterol, right, or high triglycerides, or if they have high blood pressure, if their pulse rate is too high, just the other day, let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see, I'm gonna exit here real quick. Let's see if I can pull this up, because I'm not sure where it is exactly. Give me 1 second. See if I can find this one. Don't play with me today, computer. Yeah, all right. Don't play with me. Here's an opportunity for me to plug teeth. If you ever look in the mirror, oh man, my teeth look straight right there. Oh wow, nice chompers. If you ever look in the mirror and you look at your teeth and they're flat, that means you're meant to eat plants. Congratulations. So if you're a human, you have flat teeth. That means you're supposed to eat plants. Everybody want to say, you got, where's the canine? I don't see it. I don't see it. Technically, it's like right here, but it doesn't look like a tiger. But real quick, what I was attempting to pull up for y'all is this this post I did on Facebook just the other day, where it says sit down for 5 minutes. Now check your pulse for 1 minute. If your heart rate is more than 80 beats, you need to change your diet and start an exercise program immediately. Resting heart rate is a leading indicator of health. Below 80 beats per minute, and I like below 70, means your heart is not overworking to pump blood. Above 80 could suggest an inefficient heart and early stages of heart disease. Comment with your resting heart rate in the section below. Yeah, I literally got like 2 comments. But the point is, when you have stuff going on like high pulse rate, and I encourage everybody to do what I just said. Sit down for 5 minutes. What you can do is, let's see. There we go. Can y'all see that? What you want to do is, you want to, I'm trying to show y'all, let me see. Show y'all how to take your radial pulse real quick. It's very easy. Okay. All right. My hand looks so twisted right there. All right. What you want to do is, you want to place 2 fingers on the thumb side, I guess of your wrist area, right? So you should kind of be in this position here. Hopefully you can kind of see that. And if you have to apply a little bit of pressure to feel the pulse, or you may have to move your fingers around a little bit to find the right spot. But again, it's going to be on the thumb side and right around where your wrist is. And that's one of the easiest ways to check your pulse. One of the easiest ways. You can reach there. It's called your radial artery, your radial pulse. It's one of the easiest ways to check your pulse. So I encourage everybody to check it. And that goes right into what we were just talking about here. If you have a high heart rate or high blood pressure, if you have issues with dizziness, if you have issues with fatigue, things of that nature, it could mean that you have something like this going on in your heart, or the arteries to your heart. And that's a big problem. And this is the leading cause of death, or leading cause of heart disease on the planet, right here. This thing right here. Now, if we go back to what it is, let's see. And this is something I like to do all the time. Okay. Now it says risk factors for heart disease. Obviously, the older we get, the worse our body gets. The way I like to teach clients, students, etc., about aging is that the simple fact about aging is everything is worse. But depending on how you live, you can control at the rate at which it gets worse. That's the key thing, right? So, according to the Gregorian calendar, I'm 40, right? Ooh, I think I'll be 41 this year, right? But in many instances, most people don't believe it or understand it. Why? Well, the lifestyle that I live is surrounded with stress reduction, making sure I get plenty of sleep, which I haven't this week. Sometimes you have bad weeks, but making sure you're eating the right foods, drinking plenty of water, etc., exercise, all that. Been doing a lot of Pilates and yoga this week. Okay, been taking a little break from weight training, but I miss it. But I've been doing about 100 push-ups a day, plenty of leg raises, band curls, and stuff like that. You always want to do something to challenge your body. So the point is, age, yeah, it's going to happen, but it's up to you how you age. Um, Family history. This is the one they like to push a lot. They like to say, "Oh, heart disease and high blood pressure or whatever, it runs in my family." No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Let me tell you why. I'm trying to get a little bit more comfortable. Let me tell you why um, things like heart disease or diabetes or and all that kind of stuff, or cancer, whatever you want to talk about. Let me tell you why it does not run in your family. The biggest thing that runs in family is traditions. Okay? Traditions is one of the things that you can tangibly pass down through generations. And one of the biggest traditions that we have as humans is food. The idea of celebrating things is always food. Every time there's a party, there's food. Every time there's a get together, there's food. You know, every time you go on vacation, one of the things you do is you eat a lot of different food. Okay? Every time somebody has a solar return, you like to call it birthday, no big deal. Every time you have one of those, it's food. If you go out for your anniversary, it's food. Right? So food, and then again, just regular gatherings with your immediate family, and then again, you have food. You may have dinner every single night with your family. So one of the biggest things that we pass down is cultural traditions associated with food. And if you're eating the wrong type of food, you're going to pass down disease. It's not the genetics necessarily, it's the disease. Now, yes, genetics can make you predisposed to certain diseases, but it ain't the genetics, it's the food. Obviously, smoking, duh, that's like literally the dumbest thing you could possibly do. I'm not afraid to say that, man. Like, real talk. Like, I'm just curious. I haven't read this in a while. And I'm going to be done in a little bit because, like I said, I'm kind of tired. But I'm just kind of taking this stream, wherever the stream takes me today, wherever the stream takes me today. All right? So let's see here. Let's see if we can find a cigarette warning label. I want to see what it says. Because they should be putting warning labels on food imposters, right? See if I can find an image. Bruh. All right. Let me pull this one up right here for y'all. Before I share my screen again, make sure it looks right. There we go. So, Surgeon, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Surgeon General warning. Oh, this is just smoking for pregnant women. Where's the thing for everybody? Anyway, oh, here they have it right here. So, health warnings on cigarette packages, right? Smoking. I know this stream is about heart disease, but like I said, we were talking about one of the risk factors. Oh, what happened? How did we get here? Let's get back down. Yeah, we said one of the risk factors for heart disease was smoking, right? So I said, well, let's see if we can find a label. So smoking, it literally says on there, smoking causes lung cancer. What else does it say? What else does it say it causes, everybody? Smoking causes heart disease. Look at this. I'm getting off on a tangent here, but it's just, at this point in human history, it makes no sense for anybody to smoke cigarettes at all. There's not one benefit that you can say exists from smoking cigarettes. And anything that has zero benefits is something that a human being probably should not do. It's basic logic, basic reason. But Surgeon General's warning, cigarette smoke contains carbon monoxide, and if you don't know that, carbon monoxide interferes with your ability to have oxygen in the body, which is why smoking does things like causes emphysema, okay? Messes with your lungs. But anyway, the point is smoking is dangerous and it causes heart disease. Stay on topic, okay? Every time I go off this page, it takes me somewhere else. I was on risk factors, okay? Unhealthy diet is always going to be my favorite one. Okay. Unhealthy diet. Diets high in fat, salt, cholesterol. Here we go. Let's do another one. Let's see. What are the foods that are high in fat, salt, and cholesterol? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. As it always states, again, what did I do earlier? We're going to come back to this. But I want everybody, when you watch this video at this point, you should smile. Go look in the mirror. Go look in your phone's camera. Smile. When you see those flat teeth, it's going to tell you that you're supposed to eat plants. When you see those flat teeth, it's going to tell you you're supposed to eat plants and only plants, right? But unfortunately, people like to do things like eat what they call meat. I always call it dead flesh because that's what it is. And they also like to consume dairy, which is basically pus growth hormone juice from a cow. Pus growth hormone juice. Pus growth hormone juice. I like that. Pus growth hormone juice from a cow. And all these processed flesh, all this kind of stuff. This is the stuff, and I didn't even ask this. But what does it say right here? These foods can contribute to an increased cholesterol levels, higher blood pressure, and a greater risk of what? A greater risk of what? A greater risk of what? Heart disease. What's the number one killer of humans on planet Earth? Heart disease. What causes heart disease? Dairy and eating flesh. What's the number one killer of humans on planet Earth? Heart disease. What causes heart disease? Foods high in fat and salt and cholesterol. What are the foods that are high in fat and salt and cholesterol? Dead flesh and dairy. Uh-oh. Messing with my mic too much. But look, since I have a mic in my hand, should I drop it? No, because it's cost me a little bit of cash. But should I drop it? That's a mic drop. If you haven't figured that out, you haven't been paying attention. If you haven't figured that out, you have not been paying attention. Okay? And I don't want to hear for all the people who say, well, I just eat chicken. So what? Chicken causes heart disease. Well, I just eat fish. Fish is so contaminated and toxic these days, it's not even funny. Also contributes to heart disease. Okay? So anyway, so those are the different types. So the other risk factors, of course, high blood pressure. What causes high blood pressure? Let's go back to what we just searched. Woo-hoo. What do you know? Foods high in fat and salt and cholesterol include flesh and dairy, and it also causes high blood pressure, which is a risk factor for heart disease. High cholesterol. Do I really have to go back to that screen again? Do I really have to? I don't think I do. Okay. Obesity. What causes obesity? Well, probably the same stuff. Not probably. Definitely the same stuff. The foods and all that horrible, the flesh and the dairy, right? Lack of exercise. I was just reading about this earlier. But lack of exercise. You got to get up and move. Okay. Stress. And like I said, just the other day, I did a video on anger, which is tied to stress, right? That can damage your arteries of your heart. Okay? Believe it or not, you got to clean your teeth, right? So again, what are the ways? We're going to come back to this in a second. Prevention. Ooh, we're going to come back to that. All right? So again, what you need to know about heart disease. Oh, I wanted to put this image up. So again, all the things that are associated with heart disease, these risk factors. Again, smoking. A little bit genetics, alcohol, unhealthy. Look at this. Look at this. Under unhealthy food, they put flesh and fried stuff and sugary drinks. Look, there's stress. You don't want to have diabetes, obesity, high cholesterol. This is a picture of an artery that is blocked right in here, right? I love pictures like this. This is a picture of like a cross-sectional view of a blood vessel, and what they're doing is they're showing you these blood cells that are trying to flow through the blood vessel. But unfortunately, because of all of the consumption of stuff like this, right? All the dead flesh and all the fried stuff and all the dairy and all that, the blood vessels are clogged, which inhibits and prevents flow. Big problem. Okay? Big problem. It's one thing to see it on a list, but imagery always helps out. Again, smoking, super dumb. Super dumb. Okay? So, how do you prevent? You know what, let's go back to the picture. Where is it? Yeah. How do you prevent? Now, these are risk factors, but how do you prevent heart disease? Now, if I were to ask my 7-year-old son, he probably would tell me that, well, Daddy, since smoking, you know what? I wonder if I should bring him. Watch. I'm going to go bring my 7-year-old son on the camera real quick. Okay? Y'all bear with me. Give me 1 second. I'm going to mute my camera so I can yell. I'm going to come back, and I guarantee you, I haven't coached him, but I guarantee you he's going to get this figured out. If not, then I haven't been doing my job as a parent. 1 second. All right, hopefully, what I did is I had to send a message through the speakers in the house. Hopefully he heard it, and he'll be coming in here any moment. Okay? Let's see if he's coming. Because the whole point here is to show you how simple this is. Okay, if a 7-year-old can figure it out, a 27-year-old should be able to figure it out. A 17-year-old should be able to figure it out. A 37-year-old should be able to figure it out. Now, normally, if I come in my room, my son knocks on the door every 5 seconds, it seems. But now, when I ask him to come up here, he's taking forever to get up here. I'm going to try it one more time, y'all, and then we're going to move on and call it a day. All right. Hopefully his sisters got the message and told him, Daddy's calling you. All right, we're going to leave it here for just a couple more seconds. If he doesn't come, I'll tell him I was requesting you. You had your chance to go on camera for the first time ever, but nobody's listening to me. Nobody's listening. I don't know why this is so difficult. Nobody? Really? I refuse. I refuse. What do you know? Coming to you live is my boy. All right. So, Cairo, real quick, I wanted to see, and you got to stop looking at yourself. So you got to look at the camera. The camera's up there. So I wanted to see if you could learn how to not have heart disease. Now, you see the pictures that's over here on this over here?
Yes.
It says heart disease. What does that say? Read it.
Heart disease risk factors.
All right, heart disease risk factors, right? So basically what this means, and I'm teaching this y'all to him for the first time. What this means is if you smoke, it's going to give you heart disease. If you eat unhealthy food, it's going to give you heart disease. Okay? So let me ask you, what is a way to not get heart disease? What do you think?
By not eating unhealthy food or or don't smoke.
Thank you. You can go. Have a nice day. All right, you can go. Good job. High five. All right, go, 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 go. All right, make sure you close my door. Good job. You did a great job. All right, get out of here. All right, did y'all see how easy that was? So I never taught that to him before. Of course, he does live in the house of a health coach, so we do talk about health things constantly, right? This is a household built on plants. We don't bring any animal products into the house at all. But I've never taught him about heart disease, not specifically like that. So I told him 2 things that causes heart disease, and I said, well, how do you not get heart disease? What did he say? Don't eat healthy food, don't smoke. That simple. All right, we could add to the list, don't be obese. We could add to the list, don't have diabetes. We could add to the list, don't be stressed out all the time. We could add to the list, reduce your alcohol intake to 0 or moderation. We could add to the list, reduce your cholesterol, etc. There's nothing we can do about these 2, right? There's nothing we can do about those 2, but the other ones are all within our conscious control. So again, when we get to the point about how do we prevent it, it's literally do the opposite of the things that cause it. And that's the easiest way you can reduce your risk for heart disease. Okay? All right. I think that was a fun stream. That was a fun stream. Let's see here. All right. It's a super fun stream. Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. Learning different things. All right. So anyway, what happens? Any questions this evening? We're going to do Q&A. So I just put it into the chat box. So again, we're gonna wrap here unless anybody has any questions. Anybody that might have joined on. And I cannot wait because I'm somebody who, like I said, I've been dibble-dabbling. I wouldn't say dibble-dabbling, but I've been grinding on getting into a niche, if you will, with regards to my passion and my love for the health and human body. And I cannot wait till I fill these live streams up with hundreds and hundreds of people, and we're helping people have real change, right? There's so many questions that people probably have that maybe they don't really know how to ask, or maybe they're afraid to ask, whatever. But no, not here. Not here. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap. No questions, no questions, no questions. So again, the moral of the story today is very simple. Heart disease is the number 1 killer of humans on the planet. And it can come in many forms. But the most common form is via coronary artery disease, which means that you have a problem with blood flow due to the fact that there's too much fat and cholesterol in your bloodstream. We talked about the causes of that, and we talked about the ways to prevent it. And my son came on camera and told you exactly what you got to do to not have heart disease. It's very simple. Okay? So we're going to call it I Will Bid You Adieu. Man, this one was a 44-minute stream. What? Cool. This needed to be a 44-minute stream. You know why? Do you know why? Do you know why this needed to be a 44-minute stream? Do you know why? I'm about to show you why. Because the number 1 killer of humans on the planet is heart disease. So if you're ever going to spend any time on a subject, it should be the subject of heart disease. All right? Anyway, I am going to bid you adieu. As always, if you like the channel, if you like the content on the channel, please hit subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. What do they say? Smash the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Punch the subscribe button. jump on the subscribe button. I don't know. Also, if you like the content presented in this video, make sure you like this video. So you're supposed to smash that button. You're supposed to destroy that button, hit that button, jump on that button as well. Also, when you watch this video and you find it useful to yourself, make sure you share this video with somebody who needs it, or share it to just somebody because you say, hey, this is a cool video, right? Share it out to all your friends and family members. Also, don't forget about the fact that my third book will be coming out soon. So pre-orders will be coming around soon. So I'm just waiting to get to that point. So just be ready for that as well. As always, what else? Oh, make sure you subscribe and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, again, YouTube, right? What is my handle on YouTube? It's funny. All of my handles are normally Fitness Charles. So the handle on YouTube is @fitness. There's a little hyphen. I couldn't find just the Fitness Charles, so I got a little hyphen on there. Okay, but follow me on all my social for all the exciting content that I put on there. And as always, be happy, be healthy, and be fit forever. I will catch y'all on the next Thriving Thursday or the next time I feel like teaching y'all something. Bye-bye.